Well, as Nigeria and Nigerians continue to seek a lasting recipe to the killings in Benue, Taraba and the Plateau, we will be joining in the discourse to finding peace by arresting the killers. Now, these killers have been on the prowl on, the Plateau and so many other places, and they've been on both sides, making it sometimes very, very hard to put a finger on the first cause. Well, tales of farmers are out there of how they lost their farms, and even farmers, cattle breeders aren't any different. So as the blame game continues, I ask, where are the security agencies tasked with the duty of protecting lives and property? Taraba boils, but a whole lot isn't left out of this. Well, it's Political Stew. I'm Sulaiman Aledeh. Welcome. Last week on the show, we started off our conversations on how best we can understand the problem with a view to putting a stop to those who hunger for such violence. We did a bit of rewind, looking at how the trend has been, especially in 2001, where about 1,000 people were killed. One would have thought we learned some lessons, but by 2004, 1,005 people were killed again. 6 years later, that's 2010, 806 people killed. It went into 2011 where we witnessed 200 people killed. In 2012, exactly on the 9th of July, then Senator Gang Dantong and Majority Leader of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Gang Fulani, and 50 others were killed while attending burial of about 80 victims killed earlier. Now, same 2012, about 50 people were burned inside the residence of a local pastor where they had taken refuge following attacks by gunmen on 14 villages. So on November 12, 2014, 14 people were killed by unknown gunmen in Riom local government area. On November 25, 2013, no fewer than 40 people were killed in Barkinladi. And on May 20, 2014, bombs exploded in Jos, killing at least 118 people and injuring more than 56 others. And now in 2018, what are we saying? The figures are still out there. Well, you can watch us live online on the go at tvc.tv/live-streaming. We're also live on YouTube, TVC News Nigeria Live, and youtube.com/political stew. You can also watch us live on Facebook. And those are the handles you get to find on your television screen. But again, we have been having the countdown of two major elections that will be holding here in the country before 2019, that of Ekiti and Osun State. And we've been giving you countdown leading up to the elections in Ekiti State. And it would seem as if this perhaps will be the last weekend before we get to the big moment. Coasting then, looking at my election timetable, preparation timetable, I just realized that 12th of July will be the last day for campaigns. And so it means we have just two things in our kitty. And 48 hours later will be the big moment, 14th of July, where we'll be seeing that, see the electorates go cast their ballot. So all of those comments coming in from Ekiti State, we'll be bringing them here. And a quick reminder here is that the TVC election, situation room studios will be open this weekend, ushering you into, the nitty-gritty of things happening in Ekiti State, specifically for the governorship elections. So we'll be bringing you the players, the umpires, the spectators, and all those great analysts to highlight things leading up to that election. And the studios will be open till a winner emerges. Well, we'll take a moment here from our political kitchen, and when we return, we'll be looking at what is brewing in Taraba State and perhaps seeing if we can have a firm understanding and finding solution. Stay with us. Well, welcome back. And the Taraba crisis is something really we would want to talk about here on the show. And joining me live from Jalingo is a Third Republic senator. He joins me via telephone, Senator Ibrahim Goje Gassol. Good to have you join me on the political stew here on Television Continental.
You're welcome.
Very quickly, a whole lot has been happening, and if you look at the timelines of killings and conflicts, especially around Mambila and a couple of other places in Taraba State, one wonders truly what exactly is happening. Could you take us through this crisis brewing in Taraba State? What kind of crisis are we getting from the state of Taraba?
It's really unfortunate. On the Mambila Plateau, last year, precisely in June, there was a serious crisis on the plateau, where the Mambilas and the Fulani, they were fighting, and a lot of people died, houses burned, people were displaced, there are thousands and hundreds of cows were killed. And you know what's happened in this country? There used to be signs of all these crises before they even erupt. But the security apparatus of the state, or rather they are inactive, or there's no means of communication. We have a military barrack in Barua, about 2 hours drive to Mambila Plateau, and if this thing will escalate to that level of killings, it was unfortunate, very unfortunate. So the communication there was bad, but with the new technology, within an hour, the skills are on the spot to address the situation. But it was later before they arrived to the skin and before that damage had been done.
But again, this just didn't start overnight. For some, they still think it's a communal clash. And you are one of the elders in that state, and perhaps that is the more reason you qualify to be on this platform. Tell us what exactly is happening amongst your people.
Exactly what's happening, you cannot just, sometimes it can be tribal, you cannot say it's religious, because it's tribal. Those people on the plateau, Mambila Plateau, they are living peacefully decades. And from all indication, you can link it to political and travel. Because when the new government came in 2015, the governor promised that when you give him peace, he will give him development. That was a promise. And definitely, before he even came in as a governor, there were pockets of crisis here and there. But the most unfortunate thing is what happened last June on the Mambila Plateau. Then later, almost all the zones of the state, you have them, the crisis at the central zone, southern zone, and of recent, northern zone. A lot of killings happening between farmers, grazers, farmers, between Tiljukum, between Tiflani, all over. Really unfortunate.
If you say it's also political, perhaps let's start looking at the political underpinnings in the crisis in Taraba State. What would that be?
Any government that comes, the first thing you supposed to do is to give people peace. Once there is peace, any other thing will just come in. And that was His Excellency, the President Governor, promised Caribbean. But unfortunately, it is the fault of the security. It is the fault of the political class. But I rely what happened on the plateau, on the political class. Because people want to checkmate their friends. The Mambilas, they are the majority on the plateau. And the Fulanis, they hold the economic power of that place. And from all indications, they determine the political aspect and future of that area, that is Sadona local government. And the Mambilas being the majority, they were not comfortable. So the only thing that maybe would checkmate that issue was to bring crisis. And that was the reason for that crisis. And you are aware, it's not a new thing. A lot of people died, houses burned, cattle killed. Some people, they are even in Cameroon Republic as IDPs. There are still some IDP camps on the plateau up to this moment. But of recent, the federal government have established a airport base on the plateau. And from all indicators, the president of the airport base is addressing the issue as of now. There's a little bit peace on the plateau now.